Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Swigart. I am one of the renewal underwriters here at CID Insurance Programs. Today we are going to go over how to successfully manage your renewal book. To get us started, these are some of the key points we will discuss today. Maintaining an expiration report to manage your renewals, the importance of starting the process early and treating each renewal like new business, obtaining necessary renewal information and applications in a timely manner, how to stay on top of non-renewals and remarketing, securing your renewal binds, and then where we can help on rewriting expired policies that have lapsed. Here is a brief overview of the key factors in managing your renewal book. First, like we discussed, is implementing an expiration list to help keeping track of your renewals. So as you bind accounts, add them to a spreadsheet. We find it's most successful if tracked at least on a monthly basis. Saving fillable applications to make the renewal process smoother. This is especially helpful in the event that you need to remarket an account or there are any changes. And then keeping track of accounts you anticipate could be a problem come the renewal. So this can include staying on top of any outstanding loss control or audits. For loss control, make sure any outstanding items are taken care of prior to renewal and that audits have been complied with to avoid a potential non-renewal. Here are some of the key items that we recommend having on your expiration report. The first one would be the named insured, so their legal entity name, and then also their DBA name, so their doing business as name. And then the policy number. If there are multiple policies that expire on the same day, it's best to separate those out to keep track on a per policy basis. And then the line of coverage, so that could be their general liability, their property, their work comp, their expiring carrier information, and then the premium. And on the premium, I want to keep in mind of any midterm premium bearing endorsements that may have occurred throughout the policy term. I will also add that if an account is going through a wholesaler, that it would also be helpful to list the current wholesale agent so you can be in contact with the correct office for any correspondence. Okay, a big helpful tool in managing your renewal book is starting the renewal process early. So as we discussed, having an expiration report in place is a good first step in getting ahead of your renewal book. Anticipating accounts that may require additional time. This is especially important in today's market. Reaching out to the insured to gather up-to-date information for the renewal and inquire about any potential changes. This is again where having fillable applications saved is a big time saver, and you can discuss changes with the insured and update their apps in real time. Starting this process early is also helpful, especially on accounts that are being non-renewed or any account that you wish to remarket. And especially in today's market, consider that a premium increase may occur. We know it's not fun, but it's important to be realistic with your client that they can expect premium increases in the hard market. This is in combination with tightening underwriting guidelines that could also lead to the need to remarket the account. Obtaining accurate information is helpful when working on your renewals. So try and obtain renewal information and applications at least 45 to 60 days prior to the expiration. Everyone is needing more lead time these days. However, I would like to point out that some carriers' quotes are only valid for 30 days. Each risk is unique. Consider the different exposures on each account and how it could impact the renewal as exposures do change. So for example, if a business has had a successful year and it's a revenue-driven policy, then their revenue may need to be increased at renewal. And certain policies are auditable, which is important to communicate to the insured. Informing the insured that their policy may be auditable is important. This is another reason why obtaining accurate renewal information is key, as it helps avoid large premium audits being due. You are probably seeing an influx of non-renewals lately, so here are some of the tools that will help you stay on top of them. As you know, non-renewals are continuing to pick up in the hard market. Having to find a replacement market requires a full submission, so that includes application, confirming exposures, currently valued loss runs, and loss details if applicable. And if a carrier is non-renewing for reasons specific to the insured, those items will need to be addressed. We understand that having to put together a new submission is time-consuming, but it is important and will make the remarketing process more efficient. Carrier turnaround times are delayed due to the influx of submissions they are receiving. You also have to consider that a carrier may need additional information to pursue quoting, which can lengthen the process. And getting ahead can help avoid lapses in coverage. Having a lapse in coverage can limit what markets we will consider a risk. If we can avoid a lapse in coverage, that is best. Once coverage has lapsed, it makes it harder to replace coverage, and the terms you may have previously received may no longer be valid. Remarketing accounts. So even if an account is not being non-renewed, anticipate that the insured may still want to shop the account. So while non-renewals are a big reason for remarketing, keep in mind the insured may still want to shop even if they have terms being offered. Again, I want to point out getting ahead on accounts that you want to shop is very important. That carrier turnaround time, transparency with your client, and how a full submission is required to ensure accounts are remarketed properly, as we can't always quote off expiring information. As you can see, a lot of what we covered on remarketing non-renewals also applies in remarketing the account in general. Another important item to cover with the insured is that moving coverage could require the risk to be inspected by the new carrier, which could result in loss control. We always advise the insured maintain upkeep of their property and ensure that there are no potential hazards or discrepancies that could come up in an inspection. So now that you have a quote, the process is not over. Reading through all the quote subjectivities, billing terms, and any change in policy forms is very important. I would like to emphasize that especially if there is a change in policy forms and coverages, if the quote is being offered through a new carrier. Put together a checklist of all the items to review with the insured and documents that need to be completed, signed, and dated. Signatures should be a wet signature or should be electronically verified. We see a lot of typed signatures without verification, which are not always accepted by the carrier. If changes are needed, please reach out to your underwriter as soon as possible, as this could impact premium and eligibility. And understanding and explaining the billing process for the renewal is also important. If you have questions on how the billing terms work, please contact your wholesaler or carrier prior to remitting payment to ensure a seamless process. And it's not too late. We can help you if an account has expired and has resurfaced. Keep in mind, though, that some carriers do not allow for lapses in coverage. And understand that a statement of no loss will be required for lapses in coverage. A new submission may be required. So depending on when a risk is being asked to be requoted, a new submission may be required. If it has been a year or more, then you can definitely expect that a complete new submission will be required. The risk will need to be requoted as premium, coverages, form changes may have occurred. Discuss with the insured that previous terms may not still be valid and that the premium and coverages could change as a result. If claims have occurred, this could hinder the ability for coverages to be rewritten. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. We hope you learned a lot of valuable information when it comes to managing your renewal book and how to make the process more efficient for your agency. As always, if you have any questions, please reach out to our office.